everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Survival with Fix. Well, today is a day to take a deep breath. I have been working really hard on a lot of these huge, enormous builds between Booty Bay and the space station and the Fixxiverse amusement park and even Frostmire Castle. But now it's time to take a deep breath collectively and make some plans for the future and just chat about what's going on and how we're going to go from here on out. You know, one thing that I really need is I need a map room, and I think this office is so beautiful and so perfect. I mean, I really love it. Even though it's fairly simple, it's, you know, not a lot to see here, but just the reflection off the quartz and the whole bit is just perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up little maps of each of the areas that we're currently working on here, and then project boards for each area, so we can go walk over and say, hey, today let's go work on this, or let's go work on this, or whatever. That'll be a nice place to start, and we can sort of fill out Steve Tepek's office after all. So I went through the rather painful experience of mapping out all of the cities that we're currently working in. These are not nearly all of the cities in our area, in our entire world here, but you got the space station here, Baron Hank. Hank got himself a Baron ship. Maybe, I don't know. The Fixxiverse, no Baron yet, but this is going to be something that we continue to work on. Over here, Booty Bay, which is not really part of this kingdom as far as the lore goes, but it may be something that we continue to expand upon. I'd like the pirates to be a bit of a force for the dark side here, so they may need a little bit more power, maybe some more ships and things like that. But you come around here in the back, you see New Hope, which is, of course, the Breath is in charge of New Hope. This is my medieval city. And then you walk all the way over here, and we're going to make these look a lot better, but I'm going to be using these signs as kind of boards because we get the ability to edit signs in 1.20. Over here is Frostmire Castle, which is on Hoth Mountain. It's a university and needs a baron as well, so we're going to have to get someone in charge of that. The one area, then this is, of course, Steelport with Steve Tepek, Industrial City. The one area that we can't, unfortunately, really map out is Perseverance, the underground ancient city, because you can't map underground, sadly. So I might just, I don't know. Who knows? We'll do something about that later. And then all the little hamlets and things like that aren't mapped out. We might do a little bit of a map wall where we just have like one map per maybe a zoomed out map per area. But this way, whenever we edit stuff, we can take out these maps and we can sort of refresh them and see all the progress. I think that's really a really cool thing. So I have this document thing on my phone, which is a kind of a to-do list. And this is where I put, anytime I'm just like, you know, out with my kids and I think, oh, you know what I should build in Steelport? I should build a flower factory, which is actually something I want to build. That was from a comment, which is really great. You should do a flower factory. I'm totally going to. That's a great comment. So what we'll do is we'll just come over here on the Steelport and put a flower factory. So then whenever I'm thinking, oh, what should I build next? I can just come over here to Steelport and see what I'm feeling, flower factory or whatever. And whenever I'm done, I can edit the sign in 1.20, and that's going to be so great. And then I'll know, okay, now that's off the board. What else are we going to do? Still have one more. I haven't decided exactly what I want to put there, which area. I don't know. I don't know. I think this is probably going to be all we work on for a little while between the castle, the space station, and the theme park are going to be our main sort of things. And then eventually I do want to work more on New Hope and expansion to New Hope in sort of a different side. Regardless, let's figure out what we're going to do next. Okay, I just put down some of the things I want to build here, more in some areas than others, but I think it's a good start, and we have so many things to build. I mean, you can pause the video if you want to see all the stuff that I've planned, but again, this is like, I don't know, maybe 10% of my list on my phone. It's pretty serious, but I think these boards are good for right now. Let's head back outside. Well, we are officially on day 4242. I guess that's Jackie Robinson Day doubled, and we're gonna have to cut down some more spruce because no matter what I do, I can't quite have enough. I keep cutting it down, and oh my goodness, it is a huge party out here. Okay, all right, it's the Monster Mash officially. Look at this! Look at this! Look at me! And these guys are killing each other. Holy, I might die. Let's hide. Anyway, like I was saying before the super intense combat phase there, okay, so I've been working on the beginnings of this flour mill, and that's such a great idea in the comments, and it's something I do want to try to do a little bit more now that I'm going to kind of go back to doing bite-sized episodes, a little bit smaller episodes, where I can actually just do kind of like, requests and ideas that people may have and things like that, rather than think, okay, I got to do a whole kingdom or whatever. So since I'm going to do kind of smaller builds for a little bit, smaller, I'm building a giant factory, but you know what I mean, like not a whole kingdom type of builds, then, keep the requests coming or the ideas flowing in the comments, because that's where I'm really getting a lot of inspiration from. That and also Discord. Speaking of Discord, I just put last night, very late, I put down, a request that said, hey, anyone who's ever wanted to name anything in this world, here's your chance. So if you've ever wanted to name a mountain or whatever, have something named after you, this is your chance. Put it down in Discord. So if you're not in my Discord, you have a chance. I'm not sure if this episode is going to go out before that's kind of close, but we can always do it later too. So if you ever want to name something, put it down in Discord. Say, hey, I want to name this, blah, blah, blah. And if it's not named, then what I'll do is not only will I say, yeah, okay, it's officially named that, but I'll actually put a sign in World calling it that. That way, when you grab a World download, you can say, hey, check it out. It's my mountain, or it's my tree, or it's my, factory, whatever. I'd like to have a lot more stuff from y'all in this world. And I thought about doing a few different things. I thought about doing maybe, houses or things like that. But I really think I'd kind of rather leave it up to you. Anything that's already built and that's not already named, of course. And look, I may end up have to change the name to be a little bit more immersive. You can't call it like floating yellow ducky bridge or something like that. That would be a little bit ridiculous. So, come up with a name that's going to fit. And if it fits, then I'll name it. Okay. So cool. So leave it in Discord or a comment in this video, and I will do that for a future video. Okay. I have so many things that I want to just do. Everywhere I go and everywhere I think, oh, I got to get this done. Oh, I should do that. Oh, this would be cool. Oh, this would look good. I just think that all the time. One of the things is I need a mending book because I went to go harvest clay, and honestly, I've got to come up with a really, really sweet kick butt end game clay farm, because the little bitty clay farm they have right now is just not nearly enough. I need economy size clay farm combined with an automatic mud farm or something. So someone's got to point me towards a tutorial where I can sort of accomplish more than one thing. But yeah, I came over here to grab a mending book, and I'm just going to throw this stuff in storage for right now, because I did take all the copper I can find. I've been going through copper between the amusement park and the space station. I've been going through copper like absolute crazy. But I have this shovel, which is my fortune shovel, and I use that to get either flint or clay balls or anything that I don't want to use silk touch, because obviously, so that doesn't really help. So in this particular case, so I'll just do that right there. Why don't we name this guy? It's going to cost me a level, but who cares? Because it's going to have mending now. We'll call it Fort Spade. How about that? Fort Spade. Okay. All right, cool. So now what I need to do is I need to turn all of this into clay balls and smelt it all. So I'm headed back to Steelport to get a lot of smelting done. Let's take a look at some progress here as my kids are playing some very serious and intense Teen Titans Go on their tablets against each other right now. So if you hear some screaming from the background, well, you can guess one of them probably just got defeated. Anyway, so I got this basically roof roughed in. I think it's pretty nice. Very simple, very sort of industrial looking. Clearly, I'm missing some walls. I got to do that next. I just grabbed some granite and brick now for that. And I am going to continue trying to make this look somewhat like that flower factory that I showed you. It won't be absolutely exact, but yeah, probably this side needs a little bit of help too. We'll just do some roughing. I may actually not do windows on this side. I tend to do windows on everything because it just adds interest and stuff like that. And there's a lot of windows over here, obviously. But if you really look at the buildings, particularly some of these older buildings that I'm looking at right now to find some of this concept art or actual pictures, there are not that many windows on a lot of sides of buildings. It just didn't make sense. It was an extra expense, and I imagined that they could then actually utilize the space a little bit better. So what we're going to be doing is probably just doing a very flat wall here, and I don't want to even do a gradient or anything. We're just going to have a flat wall, and then I'll see if I need a little bit of help or something. Maybe we'll do something on the exterior too. The one thing that I might end up doing is adding in some walls for some interest, like maybe doing something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then starting like here, maybe do some walls, something like this, and then walls for like 3. That'll just give a little bit of an indentation. I did that a little bit over here, and I actually do think it does help. Like it's not super obvious, but it's enough. And since we have both granite and brick walls, it does actually work. So I'm going to get working on the sides of these, and then I want to work on the silos next. But one thing that I can't forget, and actually I did forget, is I need to clear up my iron over there, because I'm going to be building these silos probably, and I haven't tested this yet, so it might look like poop and you may never see it, but I'm going to be building these silos out of actual iron blocks. So I need to make sure that these are running and not backed up. I bet that they're very full right now. Edwin sent me a book, and I am completely obsessed reading it. As it turns out, the Abon Society is older than we even thought. In fact, they've separated the world's history into what roughly translates from Abonic to ages. It's some real Tolkien stuff. According to the Abon, this is the 4th age, and I guess that's fitting, given everything in Abon culture comes in sets of 4. And if we don't succeed in stopping Cal, this will be the last age of this world. It's impossible to tell dates yet or how long each age has lasted, but Dr. Pickett has been looking into it a bit, and she suggests each age is, of course, 4,000 years. Thus, the staggering implication that Abon written history on this planet goes back nearly 16,000 years. That's so much more written history than we had on original Earth. There is so much more to learn about this place. This is bizarre. I mean, it's been a long time that this has just been open to the air. It's really weird to see this all sort of in. I really like it. I really love how many windows I went with just to go all in on the windows, and yeah, it looks really good. I have another idea that I want to do over here before I get to the silos, and that's going to be make an area where the sort of exports and imports can come in here. So I'm going to bring this road right over to there. Imagining that maybe, well, I don't think we have trucks yet in this world, but like maybe, carriages and such could back right up and unload or load in or whatever into the flour mill there, even though this is technically just a wheat farm, we're pretending. So I'm going to get some blackstone and sort of just do like maybe a loop-to-loop. Maybe I'll come in here and turn around and come back over here. That way they don't have to back up. That'd be really nice. And plus I already have this sort of extension right here. Yeah, that'd be really great. We'll do that for sure. Oh, it's a rainy day in the world, and I've done a bunch of work here, including getting this area up to the very top, and then making an outside walkway up to where the silos are getting filled. So you walk up this little area, there's a little bit of a catwalk here. I think this looks really nice using this gray glass I have that's just so good. It looks like a steel grate. I think it's nice. And then these are going to be sort of where the grain is loaded, and then it will be distributed down into the silos, or maybe the other way around, conveyor belt. I don't really remember exactly how this works. Anyway, regardless, we have these nice little like overhead things that are going to transport the grain one way or the other, and I think that's pretty nice. I definitely want to make these suspended somehow. I haven't yet figured out exactly how to do it, but the catwalk up in the top really adds a lot. And just overall, like, just, finally having something to cover these two farms, which have been here for a really long time, is really helpful. Like, I think those silos work really well. I was thinking about making a couple of them different height, but I like the way it is. I like that you can see that there's clearly 4 of them there, iron blocks and some white concrete, and just the whole thing just really looks nice. And I think the top is cool. I think it's this one needs to still be filled in. But yeah, we're getting there. We're getting really close to on this build, and I'm really excited that I think almost all the farms in Steelport are actually covered with buildings. Look at what a difference this makes. It's really dramatic, right? Definitely, I think so. Oh, I love this. So the next thing I gotta add is I gotta add those letters up on the top. I went and got a bunch of quartz and also gold nuggets and everything else while I was in the nether. But you see those lava letters right there? That's right. I'm gonna do a similar sort of thing, maybe a little smaller over on the flour mill. I think what we're gonna do is maybe put Steelport on one side and flour mill on the other. Oh, it's just gonna be just a glorious thing, totally in the style. I think we are officially done with this build, and man, I love it. It feels very, very industrial. I love the words on top. I built this little area over here because I wanted to bring in some color on the side of the silo, so I brought this little area where you can walk up here, and then some wheat to show, hey, that's the, you know, flour, wheat, the farm. and then, yeah, it's something to walk under, which, as you know, if you've been on the channel for a long time, you know I love to walk under. Oops. I forgot that. Okay, I'll have to fix that later. But yeah, you just get the feeling of like we're in a big city. This is kind of an alley. Yeah, love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Still a little bit of work to do out here on the front, but I'm going to wait to do this because I don't know what building's going to go over here. So I'll wait till we do a building over here and then address this. But yeah, it's super cool. Might end up putting a sign over here or something like that. Maybe like a pixel art sign or something. If I could find one that's only like 7 blocks maybe at max though, because I wouldn't want to hang like the whole way over here. There's gonna be a tree here in the middle, so something. But regardless, you know what, we have a nice new factory, and finally all the farms, I think, except for maybe the moss farm, I think that's the only one I can think of, are all sort of closed in. I love Steelport. What a fun town. We'll see you all next episode right here from Survival with Fix. Bye everybody.